Welcome back to Vegas Weekly for Saturday, August 8th, 2020. We got a great show for you today. Lots of good information, and PJ's back with another one of his specialty cocktails. A couple of housekeeping notes today. First off, congratulations to our friend and fellow Vegas YouTuber, Cinnamon, reaching 750 subs this week. And we'll put a link to her channel in the show notes below. I don't think she's been around long enough to be in our Friends of Vegas Tips and Tricks list, which we really need to update, but that's neither here nor there. So definitely check out her channel. She's been to Vegas several times since the reopening, so give you a look at what things are like there. You know, in addition to gambling with money, probably the biggest gamble anybody takes in Las Vegas is getting married. And I'm reminded of that today on what would have been my aunt and uncle's 77th wedding anniversary. And you may say, well, you're old. They've probably passed away years ago. Now, my uncle passed away at the age of 98 just this past February. And my aunt just a couple of years ago. They actually celebrated 74 years together. So they were not big gamblers. I think they may have gone through Las Vegas once or twice, but they definitely hit the jackpot. So happy heavenly anniversary to them on this day. The news is kind of a mixed bag of not very much happening. The governor spoke again this week, but made no changes that significantly impact Vegas visitors. Visitor traffic itself was down about 70% in the month of June, not surprising, and certainly would go along with what we've seen and heard about the amount of traffic there. About 1 million people did visit Las Vegas during the month of June, but when you take out all the people who would have been there for various conventions or shows, or people flying in from other countries or even other states, that certainly accounts for a lot of those missing numbers. Right now, Vegas tends to be overrun by people driving in from places like Arizona and California, which are even more restrictive in terms of what you can do, and are just coming to Vegas to party over a long weekend. Not necessarily the crowd the Convention and Visitors Bureau was looking for. The latest sort of strange phenomenon is that apparently some of these sort of gangs of youths are renting mobility scooters and buzzing up and down the strip and through casinos and generally making quite a nuisance of themselves. So you never know what you're going to get in Las Vegas, but definitely be careful out there, particularly if you're wandering the streets late at night, because this is a kind of a rough crowd right now. As far as the casinos themselves, we did find out Main Street Station will be reopening on September the 1st. That's also the scheduled reopening date for Tropicana and Oyo, though there were rumors that the date for Tropicana at least might be pushed back once again. We also heard from Station Casinos this week about 4 casinos of theirs which have remained closed, and they are expected to stay closed, period. It includes 3 locals casinos, Fiesta Rancho and Fiesta Henderson, Texas Station, as well as the much more prominent Palms Hotel. Rumors are, of course, that all of these properties might be for sale if there was someone actually looking to buy. Right now, it seems like most of the major casino players are more likely to shed hotel inventory rather than acquire more. So stay tuned on that one, and we'll see what comes of it. Last week, the Sahara was in the news, supposedly because they were going to close down. They didn't take very well to that rumor, and have actually resorted to suing a prominent Vegas blogger for spreading that rumor. I don't know. We'll see. It seems like perhaps the Sahara could better use its resources to make their facility one more appealing to visitors and locals alike, and no one would be very likely to believe any rumors that they were closing. The Sahara, however, is in the news again because they were cited as being in violation of several of the state's COVID-19 directives, including scheduling a meeting of over 50 people. That's a no-no. And allowing people to congregate around table games and slot machines who were not playing them. Also a no-no. So they may face fines on that front. So there you go. That's our compact news segment this week. Speaking of compact, our friend PJ is back from a week of vacation, and he's got a simple cocktail, I think one that would be excellent to enjoy out on the porch on a hot summer night. So PJ, you want to show us what you got this week?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cocktail of the Week with your host and not a professional bartender, PJ.
Well, hey, John. Hey, thanks again for another fabulous introduction to Cocktails of the Week, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, so I got to apologize up front for JP. Sometimes he gets a little bit carried away, but it was great to have him on the show, and John, thanks for that week off. So anybody out there who would like to submit a cocktail, please do. You don't have to be a professional bartender, as you saw in myself and JP. So if you have a favorite drink, submit it. It doesn't even have to be alcoholic. You can do a mocktail. That'd be just fine. It'll just be just fine. All right, so this week's episode of Cocktail of the Week is going to be a spiked ocean water, ladies and gentlemen. Just 3 ingredients: coconut rum, blue curacao, and lemon lime soda, and we're going to top that off with a cherry. So let's get right into it. Right, I have no background story on this. Excuse me. I saw this on another channel, and I thought that hey, looked pretty good. Let's give it a shot. So here we go. Spiked ocean water. First thing we want to do is plop in. Let's try to still have some blue ice cubes. So let's use up the rest of those. Next thing we're going to do is a little blue curacao, 1 ounce, and 2 ounces of our coconut rum. Alrighty, then we're going to top that off with a little lemon lime soda. And let's add a little bit of our crushed ice. Those 2 keys. Oh, fire, man down, man down. Alrighty. And we'll garnish that with the cherry. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have a spiked ocean water. Once again, just 3 ingredients: coconut rum, blue curacao, and your favorite lemon lime soda. I present to you spiked ocean. Now, as you know, I've told you all before, to make the blue ice cubes, I just add a little blue curacao and some water, mix it up, throw in the ice trees, and there we go, blue ice cubes. You can do that for pretty much any color. If you don't have food coloring, you can use any grenadine for red, apple schnapps for the green, whatever you can find. Alrighty, let's get to tasting this, shall we? Cheers, everybody. Man, I love the taste of coconut rum. And that's what you taste in here. Blue curacao, it's only about 15-20% alcohol. The Malibu rum, I think it's about 25 or 30% alcohol. I don't know, it's a good little buzz. You get a couple of these, you'll be okay. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got for you. Quick, easy episode. Now let's get back to John and Vegas tips and tricks. But just while you're at the end of this, if you don't mind, I'm going to add a couple of sips. If you don't mind, please give a thumbs up to this video. Leave a comment down below for John. Tell him what you like and don't like about this show. And as always, please subscribe to Vegas Tips and Tricks. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this man John, he does a great job on his shows. He has a lot of good information for everybody who's going to Vegas. Good, bad, and the ugly. This show is done weekly, as you all know. And his information is pretty current. It's pretty right up to the last minute before taping the show. So once again, thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. Now back to John Vegas tips and tricks. We're out of here, John. Peace, everybody. Cheers.
Okay, that looks very refreshing, and it's blue. You just can't beat a blue cocktail. There's just not enough blue food in the world. Anyway, thanks again. Thanks for the kind words. Yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Leave a thumbs up. We really do appreciate that. And leave a comment. I answer all the comments because I can. There's not that many usually, but appreciate it. Today, in our tips segment, we are going to talk about another couple of casino apps. They're essentially identical, same developer, almost the same exact layout, for Binions and for Queens. Now, if you're a fan of staying downtown and playing downtown, these are the apps for you. There's not much of anything on MyVegas or certainly on Win Slots that appeals to the downtown visitor. But if you like the sort of better odds you get downtown and the vibe you get downtown, then you'll want to play these games because you can earn hotel credits, you can get food credits, you can get free drinks. There's all kinds of fun little souvenirs. These are budget properties. They're not the fanciest places to stay, but they're clean and comfortable. In the case of Binions, maybe haunted. That could be a positive for you. I don't know. I think a ghost messed up my room, but I might have just been a little inebriated that night, so we don't know. In any case, definitely worth checking out. Probably not if you're just a person that likes to stay and play on the Strip. The apps are a little bit shaky. I'll show you a picture. I can't remember which one I pulled up, but here's a picture of what it looks like when you log into the app. And as I say, both Four Queens and Binions basically operate the same way. When you first log in, of course, you'll get, or sign up or download it, you'll get a certain number of coins. You can collect coins through the week and through the day in various ways. Every 2 hours, you can log into the apps and you'll receive some kind of a reward. With Binions, the first time you log in, you'll be able to answer their question of the day, some Vegas trivia. You get it right, you get like 175,000. They keep giving you a chance to get it right, and you get slightly less if it takes you longer. On your second trip into the Binions app a couple hours later, you'll get to spin what looks like the Wheel of Fortune. And on your third visit, you'll actually get 10 free hats. We'll get back to hats in just a minute, but they're good. But after that, every 2 hours, you can get in there and basically collect 75,000 coins to play with. Also, if you're willing to set through a little ad for some other app, you can click on the little reward coin segment every hour, and it will you'll watch a little short video. Sometimes it's like 5 seconds, sometimes it's like 30 seconds or more, and then you'll get 75,000 coins through that as well. Four Queens doesn't have a question of the day. The first time you log in, you'll get the wheel spin. The second time, you'll get 10 crowns, they're called. And what you want to accumulate in the apps are either the hats or crowns. Now, hats, they're cowboy hats, Binions, get it, okay? And the crowns, Four Queens, get it, okay. One of the interesting things about the apps, the slot games are frankly, well, they're pretty cruddy. They don't look anything like a real slot game, but you could actually play video Keno or video poker. The video poker, if you go in, it'll actually tell you the optimum payout for the games. So it's a nice way to earn a little faster by playing a game with a little better payback percentage. Now, one of the weird things about the game is when you go in and you start playing it every day, when you first start to play, you earn more of the hats or crowns. As you continue to play, even at exactly the same level, you start earning less and less. So the longer you play, you get sort of diminished returns. Now, I had heard at various occasions that it didn't matter how much you wagered, that you were going to get the same thing. That may or may not have been true in the past. It's definitely not true now. I actually played a little bit last night in both games. And it was actually betting like 1,000,000 coins on a spin. I was playing a 10-play video poker. And when I initially started playing, the first time I actually earned 11 hats. And as time went by and I played for probably 40 or 50 hands, I got down to the point where I was only earning 2 or 3 hats. So it seems like if you're betting like maybe under 100,000, you'll start out getting about 1 hat or crown per play. And as time goes on, it'll be only a fraction of that until you can't even tell that you're earning anything, at which point you're best off just not playing anymore. So if you don't want to play a game where you have to spend a lot of time to get your rewards, these 2 are good ones, because again, you can get the 10 hats. If you do nothing else, then just log in and get your free hats or crowns every day. You know, it'll add up in the long run. If you do decide to play, you'll only play for a little while, because there's really no benefit at a certain point, because you're just not earning enough of the hats / crowns. As I mentioned, these are budget properties. They're downtown properties. There's not any fancy shows or nightclubs or anything here. Again, you can earn credits for food. Both of them have a gourmet restaurant of sorts. Actually, Hugo's Cellar at Four Queens is one of the nicer places to eat downtown. Definitely an old school experience. And Binion's still has their steakhouse at the top of their tower. And so that's also definitely worth checking out. So you can earn hats or crowns towards those things as well. And you can accumulate quite a few hats in a short period of time. Again, I was playing at a pretty high level last night and had some luck, but I probably earned a good 100 hats playing the Binion's game just in a fairly short period of time. So one strategy on this thing, particularly if you don't have a lot of time to play, is both of them offer a free well drink for only 150 hats / crowns. So, you know, on those occasions when you may not feel like gambling, or on those occasions where you don't want to wait around for a cocktail waitress, that's a pretty good deal for a well drink or draft beer. So it's a good way to use it up, particularly if you don't have a lot of the coins. So there you go. We're wrapping up our series this week. So definitely, if you're a downtown fan, if you don't want to spend any money on the apps, then definitely check out Binion's and Four Queens. They are more than worth your time. Okay, today's history segment, and I did want to point out, we will not do a part 2 of our Vegas history show this Wednesday. We'll do it the following Wednesday for a logistical reason, because I have the Tuesday of that week off. So it'll work out very well for me to put the show together and get it ready for you on that Tuesday. Today, we're going to break away from downtown for just a little bit, and I thought about this because August 5th, a couple of days ago, marked the 54th anniversary of the opening of Caesar's Palace. And Caesar's Palace, as well as being one of the most iconic properties, I think, you know, it depends upon what age you are, but I think if you're a certain age, in your 40s or 50s, when you first think about Las Vegas, the iconic property is probably Caesar's Palace. If you're significantly older than that, it might be something like the Sands or the Flamingo. If you came along a little bit later, it might be a property like Mirage or Bellagio. Nowadays, for younger people, it might be the Cosmopolitan. But certainly Caesar's is one of the iconic properties. And over that 54 years, it has created a genuine empire and has expanded over, I don't know, it must be a good quarter of a section. I don't know how many acres Caesar's Palace fills up, particularly if you include the Forum shops. What I wanted to talk about today is one of the most confusing elements of Caesar's to a new visitor, and that is all the hotel towers. If you see all the room options and everything, you might think that there are literally hundreds of these hotel towers, and it does sometimes feel that way. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of those towers, more or less where they're located, which are the most desirable ones here today. When the property opened up in 1966, there was only one tower, the Roman Tower. It remains there. It was expanded in 1974. It has been remodeled fairly recently. It is now known as the Julius Tower. I have seen a number of room videos of the Julius Tower. The rooms are, of course, fairly small, but I think quite stylish. It is a decent property, a decent tower, decent place to stay, located relatively close to registration, which is an issue at Caesars. And generally, it is one of the less expensive options in terms of the Caesars properties. So that's the Roman/Julius Tower. In 1970, Caesars built a second tower adjacent to it called the Centurion Tower. Now, if you look online again, you'll discover the Centurion Tower doesn't exist anymore because, approximately a decade or so ago, it was shut down and remodeled and turned into the hotel within a hotel known as Nobu. So if you stay at the Nobu Hotel, which is generally quite pricey, you'll be staying at the second tower of Caesar's Palace, originally the old Centurion Tower. Again, the rooms here are fairly small, certainly by modern standards, but if you're a fan of Nobu or that sort of Asian theme, it might be worth it to you. A decade or so later, around 1979, Caesars would open its third tower, again off to the north and east. That would be what we now know as the Forum Tower. It opened up as the Fantasy Tower. It was the largest tower at the time. The rooms there are very basic. They tend to be the least expensive options when you go on the Caesars website. They are not that impressive. The Forum Tower is quite a distance, quite a hike from registration, though it is quite close to the Forum Casino and, of course, the Forum shops. The shops didn't open up until 1992 and expanded again in 97 and later in the 2000s. It is one of the most valuable pieces of commercial real estate anywhere in the world. And it's a pretty impressive shopping center, mall. If you have to visit one mall in Vegas, it's probably the one to visit. Now, in 1999, Caesars completed another massive hotel tower, the Palace Tower. It was located to the west of the Forum Tower. It is a serious hike away from registration, probably as far as any of the towers, but it is very conveniently located near the pool, near the buffet when it's open, near the convention space, the wedding chapel. A lot of those facilities were put in around the same time as the Palace Tower, and those rooms were remodeled very recently, are very nice, and of a good size. So again, if you don't mind the hike, or if you're going to spend a lot of time at Caesars and want to hang out at the pool, it can be a very good option. 2003, on the corner, basically, of Las Vegas Boulevard and Flamingo, the Caesars would knock down a parking area and put up the Augustus Tower. The Augustus Tower was, again, recently remodeled just a couple of years ago, I believe. It is probably the most desirable of the 6 hotel towers, and the price normally reflects that. It is very close to hotel registration. It is very close, to, obviously, to Flamingo, so it's fairly easy to get in and out. The rooms are very nice, certainly on par with any of the other rooms in the property, and some of them have a view of the Bellagio fountains and the Strip to the south. So Augustus is definitely, I would say, the choice if money is no object or if you're being comped. Finally, in the late 2000s, after numerous delays due to the economic shutdown, Caesars would open up its 6th and final tower, the Octavius Tower. It is located just to the west of the Augustus Tower, and they look basically exactly alike. The rooms are similar. I actually stayed at the Octavius Tower a couple of years ago, and it's a beautiful property. It is, again, a bit of a hike from the registration area, as are many, though I don't think probably as bad as Palace or Forum Tower would be. And you don't have to walk through the casino. It is also located very close to the pool and the buffet, so keep that in mind. Definitely a worthwhile place to stay. So that is my attempt to help you understand the many towers of Caesar's Palace, and that is this week in Vegas history. Thanks so much again for continuing to watch this weekly program, and we'll be back again next week with another episode. Until then, I hope that you have a great and lucky and healthy week. We will see you soon.